what I'll be doing back here when y'all be chilling. I'll be back here jamming.
Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Freeman Mazda Hyundai, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! That's right. Put those pencils down. Put those books down, close them up. It's Friday. It's Friday. We ain't got no job. No, y'all got jobs. We got jobs. We ain't doing that. Slow news week. It's going to be like this on Fridays, man. Rolling out the TV today. Opening up the mailbag. So just kick back, relax, get your drink on. You want to call into the show, you absolutely can. And when I say get your drink on, I don't mean drink in the morning. I mean get your cup of coffee. If you got some Irish coffee going on this morning, I feel you. It is what it is. It's a Friday. Some of y'all just got paid Friday night. So if you got to celebrate this early, hey, do what you got to do. Just do it responsibly. But it is Friday. It is the middle of the dead period. So open up the mailbags. This is about y'all. It's Fan Friday. We are going to, we got some good questions. Man, Instagram got some good questions. YouTube has some. We even had a few on Facebook. So we got some good questions for today's Fan Friday mailbag. And, we'll have a good time with that. You want to call in, you can, 351-999-3787, 351-999-3787. Alpha Mason said he already drinking. Shout out to the Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
I didn't do myself any favors yesterday with some of the Bomb Squad. I'll put some beats on right quick. I wasn't going to pull this up, but I'm curious because I'm not usually in the middle of controversy. I'm not saying this is controversial, but my take was kind of controversial. Let me see if I can find this for y'all real quick. So, there was this tweet that went around yesterday about Cowboys uniforms and bringing the Cowboys uniforms back. And let me see if I got it here. Yeah, we kind of got it. Let me see. And I had a take, and I don't think it's a crazy take, but apparently it was crazy enough. So I'm going to run this by y'all real quick. Y'all let me know if I'm crazy here. My guy, shout out to Tom Downey, burner account. He said, bring back these jerseys. And he's talking about the Thanksgiving jerseys. That's an unpopular opinion because I figured it would be. These Jones mid. I like the color rush better. Not only the color rush, but the 94s and I like the regular navy. I just think these Jones is all right. They're okay. They're nothing crazy. But they seem to be so popular. So that's why I thought it was an unpopular opinion. But a lot of people seem to agree with me. But a lot of people also did not agree with me here. So Cowboys Nation, Bomb Squad, not just Cowboys Nation, because y'all family, y'all Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Am I tripping? Am I tripping about this take here? I don't personally think these Thanksgiving uniforms is crazy. Shout out to my bro Lee in the building. I know he probably got one. What y'all talking about? Professor O said the home white uniforms are trash. Don't at me. Oh, you're talking about the regular dips. The regular dip. That's the real Tom Downey. Peasy said I'm crazy. I just think they just regular, man. Like, maybe it's the actual jersey. Maybe it looks cooler when they're playing in them. But the actual jerseys, it's kind of mid to me. I like the new uniforms. Let me see. TC don't like him too much. Tino said they hard, but he said we never win with him. Trey agrees with Professor O. Sam says mid is a good word for him. What up, man? My guy Lennox in the building. He said mid gives me a rock bottom. I just think they mid, man. I don't know. I thought that was fun yesterday. A lot of people had a lot to say about that. I personally think the 94s are the best Cowboys jerseys of all time. I don't know why I don't bring those back. I can't for the life of me understand it. But I feel like if the blue versions should be the Thanksgiving Day versions. And the white versions, I think, like my guy Tuck said, they're trying to go that route with the color rush, but those should really be the color rush versions. However, I think the color rush are better. And there it goes. There goes my take, y'all. Okay, my bro agreed with me. He said they just okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They all right. I wanted to share that with the Bomb Squad. I wanted to make sure that, because I probably lost some fans yesterday with that take. But y'all still love me, though. So let's get into this roundup, which really, again, isn't much. We're going to feature another article and, dare I say, give Stephen Jones credit. Stephen White, this is for you, I guess, man.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
You know, I guess sometimes you have to give Stephen Jones credit. And this article did just that, and I'm going to try my hardest to do that. Shout out to Mauricio Rodriguez, prime time host, A to Z Sports Dallas here on this channel. As you guys know him, if you don't, we're going to bring him on the show so you can. I guess there was a Pro Football Focus article that, again, PFF, Mo said unexpectedly gave credit to the Dallas Cowboys. And it was about the best contracts. I think Mo did a show on this yesterday. It was about the contracts around the league, and the Cowboys had 3 of those contracts ranked in the top 32, I believe it was. And then no surprise, number 1 for the Cowboys and number 9 overall, which, how is this number 9? I want to see what the rest are, is Tyron Smith's. He has 2 years, $28 million left on his contract, which averages out to about $14 million a year. Now, this is interesting because we know Tyron Smith gets hurt a ton, but in the grand scheme of things, I think what keeps him around is that contract. Obviously, he plays good too when he's healthy. But that contract is so damn team friendly. He signed an 8-year extension that ended up being a total of 10 years back in 2015, I think it was. A total of 10-year contract, or maybe 2014, one of those damn years. And yeah, at that time, we were like, whoa, a 10-year deal? You don't see that in the league. And I think that sent Stephen Jones, gave him an aha moment. Okay, well, if we can get these long-term deals, let's rock with them, man. And another guy on this list, Michael Gallup, 5 years, $57.5 million, which I also thought was a decent contract. Aaron Wilson, I believe from Spotrac, broke down his monies. He's got a $62.5 million contract, $10 million signing bonus. He has escalator clauses of $2.5 million if he gets 70 catches or 1,100 yards from scrimmage. So you best believe he's going to try to get those. His signing bonus salaries, $2 million, 11, 8.5, 10.5 million, and 10.5 million roster bonus of $1 million annually. Really good contract for Michael Gallup too. I can't be mad at that because you can get out of it after about 3 years, I think tops. You can get out of it and not have any harm. So Stephen Jones, I will give you some credit, bro. You did something. Shout out to Mo for the article, though. I wanted to make sure I featured that. And that's enough of that. Now I'm going to go take a sip of this coffee to wash out that stench of talking about Stephen Jones. Because I don't like doing it. Just keeping it being. I don't. Toxic says, Sky, I love how they have a pic of Zeke for this article. One of the worst contracts. But the article was Tyron Smith, but I guess Zeke was in there too. Yeah, I guess you could argue Zeke may be one of, if not the worst, because of the position, right? But if he got 3, and you guys have to check out the article, A2ZSportsDallas.com for the other one and take a read. Mo is one of our more talented writers, I think, in A to Z, period. And they got 13 different cities they do this in. So shout out to Mo. One of our other talented writers is in the building. My guy, Matt Lennox, was goody. Stephen Jones treats his team like a penny stock day trader.
The money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Matisse said, isn't he taking advantage of their injuries, though? Seems like an easy negotiation. Brother, in one part, yes, but I can't knock him for that. Like, that aspect of he knows when to strike, right? Like, he knows when to strike in regards to taking advantage of a player, et cetera, et cetera. But that also comes back to bite him in the butt when it's time to pay up for these top players, or keep these top players around, i.e. DeMarcus Lawrence. It took, Jerry getting involved for that. Same thing with, I guess they had Gregory, so I'm not going to knock him for that situation, but a whole plethora of other situations where he kind of let that player go or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, on one hand, yep, easy negotiations if they're injured, but on the other hand, it bites them in the butt. James Ruff said it's hard to give Stephen Jones anything. I know, man. That's why it was rough for me, man. It was rough for me to give him some credit on those 2 contracts, but I did, man. What up, Ghostface? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? All right, look, we're going straight into it. I told y'all we're putting the pencils down. The books are closed. Y'all can call in this y'all show. Y'all can lead it where y'all want to lead it today, and that's why I decided to do the mailbag feature. And I think there's about 7 questions. And if y'all don't know how that goes, for those who are new, for those who just subscribed, I answer the mailbag questions. They will be shown on the screen here, but y'all can answer them as well. And I'll take a gander into the chat, and we can have a conversation about it. So before we do that, let me get to the super chat, and we gonna get this thing started.
Super chat.
Shout out to B Bird in the building. What up, OG? He says, "What is the savings allowing us to do? If he's just saving money to save money, how does that benefit us fans?" This is B Bird's favorite topic. Hey, B, me and you could talk about this all day, B. Come on in, brother. We could talk about this all day. It doesn't benefit to be a penny pincher and save bread. You got to take some risk. You're going to lose some. But I feel like I said this before, you learn more about yourself in losses than you do in the wins. I just truly believe that. All right, let's jump into this mailbag, man. We got some good stuff today. Shout out to Only Speaks Facts on Instagram, aka Jeremy on YouTube. He always provides some solid questions and is always active. He's been a Bomb Squad member for a while. I'll start off with him. There was a ton on Instagram. I only pulled, not a ton, but there were some quality ones on Instagram. I pulled 3 of them. Only Speak Facts says, which player could be the biggest surprise to make the roster? Once again, y'all could join in on this as well. My answer is, honestly, this question, Jeremy, it stumped me for a few seconds because your one word, could be the biggest surprise, not would be. If it was which player would be the biggest surprise, it would have been much easier for me. But you said which player could be the biggest surprise. I feel like that changes the factors a little bit. It makes me say, okay, which player maybe played their way on and deserved to be on that roster, whereas would be would be like, oh, I didn't think he'd be on the roster at all, and it's a surprise. So I'm kind of going to mix your question up a little bit here. The biggest surprise to me would be Tristan Hill. Probably like, what? It's a second-round pick, guy. I know you've been dogging him all offseason, and I half-heartedly been dogging him, but he would be the biggest surprise to me, Jeremy, because I feel like they just continue to try. I don't want to say to kick him off the team, but they just keep bringing in competition. And normally you don't see that happen. And when I say competition, I'm not talking about, oh, hey, this is, your backup, your third string, your practice squad. No. They drafted Tristan Hill. Then the very next year, they drafted Neville Gallimore. Then the very next year, they drafted Oso Odigizua. In the same draft, they drafted Chauncey Golston, who is now put on 20 pounds to be your 3 tech. So if this new regime who didn't draft you now has 3 guys playing your position, to me, that tells me you're kind of on your way out unless you absolutely go ballistic. So this to me would be a surprise if Tristan made the team. And that's probably not a popular take, because if he makes it, is anybody going to be surprised? Probably not, because he's Tristan Hill. He's been on the squad for a minute. He's a second-round pick, whatever. But to me, it would be, because if Golston does show he can man up in that 3 tech, I don't know where there's room for Tristan Hill. He's not a 1 tech. I've seen that happen. That's not a thing for him. So maybe another team gets a guy who has talent, just never could put it all together, and has been a little bit injured. So he would be my surprise. Who would be y'all surprise? Big Flock says Big Bo. Marcus says Noah. Toxic, who's your answer, Toxic? I don't know your answer. Peter Rizzo, yes, he says, do we have a solid field goal kicker? Well, we have a field goal kicker, Jonathan Gadabe, who I think I'm going to like this dude. I don't know why. It's just, I seen that 62-yarder. I wanted to go, I watched a few, and I just like this guy. I hope he sticks around. Let's see. Who would be y'all biggest surprise? So King Element said clearly Ryan. No, let me tell you something, King Element. I was going to drop a little joke and see here's Toxic say his name, Scott. Say his name. I really was going to say Ryan Nall, but didn't we talk ourselves into that not being a surprise anymore? At least I talked myself into it. When we did the running back show, I was like, wait a minute now. Low key, this dude probably got the best chance to be RB3, and I don't like it. So he honestly wouldn't be a surprise anymore. Before I did that show, maybe, because I was like, Ryan, no, I'm making this guy out here. But then I dug a little bit more and things like that, and yeah, he might make the team. King said, I'm convinced Noah Brown has a 4K video of Jerry using a slur. Do we think Noah would be a surprise? I don't think Noah would be a surprise. Kel Randall, Malik Turner is not here anymore. It's not here. Gregory, get out of here, Gregory. Are you answering a different question? Because I do have an answer for that question if you want to jump to that one. But ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way. All right, let's get to the next question. Also on Instagram, Mike_4K. Shout out to you, sir, for participating. He says, which player looks like it's going to be their season? And to me, I mean, I think this answer here is an easy answer. It's emphatically CeeDee Lamb. I don't know how it doesn't look like, and I'm not even just talking about from a physical standpoint, because Mike_4K, we haven't really seen any footage for real, just a little bit of something. I haven't seen him up close and personal, but we know he put on a little bit. He grew a half an inch. But the biggest factor is CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver 1, without a doubt now. Also, CeeDee Lamb's going to be the dude with really no competition at wide receiver for targets for at least 2 to 4 weeks. All depends, the latter being the worst case scenario. So I can see his target share rate going up big time. I think he had something, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Was it somewhere around 120 targets, something like that? I could see that target share going up to about 160. So I got CeeDee Lamb, man, having an absolute beast of a year. Now, will that be enough to propel the Cowboys here? There, who knows? But we're just talking about individually. I don't know how he doesn't. And then you hear how Dak talks about him. You hear they're in the Dak yard. They're working on that chemistry, that bond. Because as I've said plenty of times, they haven't played together that long. It feels like they have, but they haven't. They missed 15 games. That's almost a full season, and CD has only played 2 seasons in the league. So they've essentially have 1 year of playing experience, game experience playing together. And it's never been on a consistent basis. Whether it be Dak tearing up his ankle in year 1 or year 2, him messing up his calf, and then CD missing time with the concussion. So I got CD Lamb as the guy who looks like it's going to be their year. Big Flock says, Semi going to turn heads, watch out. Truth MDP says, is there a receiver 1 in the system? That seems to be a very popular and understanding question. In a way, no. Like literally, yes. Because like I said, we talk about progressions, right? But in the other term, right, that's my wide receiver 1. No, nah, it doesn't feel like it is. Maybe that changes this year. Maybe Kellen learns. Maybe Dak learns. Like, all right, forget it. This is what we doing. At least that's what I hope he does. Well, Big Flock. He says Vasher's 6'5", right? Yeah. TJ Vasher's 6'6", I think. 6'5" and some change. I think he's rounded up to 6'6", so he's huge. He was actually going to be a guy I said could have been a surprise to make the roster. I think he said, yeah, could be a surprise to make the roster. I was going to say TJ, but then I looked in the receiver room and I'm like, well, would it shock me if he beats out a Semi? No. Would it shock me if he beats out Noah? Maybe a little bit, but not that much, because at the end of the day, Noah isn't that kind of caliber of wide receiver. So TJ Vasher, I thought about him at first and I was like, the receiver room's not. If it was last year, Gallup, Lamb, Cooper, Noah Brown, and Ced Wilson, and then TJ made the roster, yeah, that would have shocked me last year. Toxic, I wanted to say Tony Pollard, bro. But for that question, what player looks like it's going to be their season? I wanted to say Tony Pollard. I truly did. But Tony Pollard is the prime example of, you got to show me, Kellen. I've literally heard, yeah, man, we're going to use TP XYZ 2019, 2020, 2021. None of these things really happened. And when they were starting to happen in 2021, I'm like, oh, let's go. Then it stopped. So you just got to show me that Tony Pollard is truly a feature part of this offense before I put my full-fledged confidence in the fact that it will be. Joey says Pollard. I want it to be Pollard too, Toxic and Joey. Jacob says D-Law. That's a good one. That's a good one because D-Law got some things to prove. You can hear it in him. He's ready. Missing that most of the season last year. He slimmed up some, cut the dreads. He's in serious mode right now. TC says Dante Fowler and Coley Cole says James Washington. Well, Cole. My bad. That's not where we're going here. It's a nice little segue there, Coley Cole. For those who know what I'm talking about when I say Coley Cole, just let me know we on the same page in the chat. Ryan Long says, aside from CD, shout out to you, by the way, for the question on Instagram. Aside from CD, who do you think will be Dak's favorite weapon? Well, Coley Cole, you said it. James Washington is going to be Dak's favorite weapon, in my opinion, aside from CD Lamb. And this one, a little bit tough because Jalen Tolbert seems to already be developing a connection with him. And I wanted to say Jalen, I really, really did. But I'm going to go ahead and say that James is going to be in the slot. And y'all know how I feel about the slot position. And I personally think that James Washington could be a fantastic slot receiver for Dallas for this year. I just think he's personally going to love how James plays. When we go back and we look at the trust that Dak had with Michael Gallup to just, hey, man, put it in the area, he's going to get it. I feel that way about James. And I know he ain't 6'5" or nothing like that, but he plays like he's 6'5", and his yak ability is there. His ability to go up and be strong at the catch point. And he tough. He's a tough player with a tough mentality, and he has a I'm that dude mindset to him. And I want that in the slot because you're going to have opportunities. So I've got James Washington. I almost said Dalton Schultz, right? But I don't view Dalton Schultz as a weapon. I think James Washington can be. Think about that for a second. For those that are saying Schultz, I almost said that. But the word that the viewer used was weapon. I don't view Schultz as a weapon. I think that James Washington can be. Salute to those who caught that Martin reference. Yeah, Tino says Dalton. B Bird says Dalton as well. But do y'all feel me when I say that about Dalton? Because I almost said the same thing. Second shall not be infringed, says Jalen Tolbert. Big Flock says Tolbert will be wide receiver 2, Washington wide receiver 3. I agree. At least I hope that's how it starts off. I want them to put him in the slot. I think that would be best for James Washington. And I think it would be best for Jalen Tolbert to kind of start on the hashes on outside the numbers, on the boundary, and focus on that. Even though we hear Mike McCarthy constantly talk about, I like versatility. I want guys to know everything. That's cool. I hope they know everything as well, but he's still a rookie, first year in the system, first year in the league. I'd much rather him kind of get his feet wet doing that specific thing. And then as he gets older or what have you, as he's throughout the season, you want to move him around or whatever. But kind of aching to Michael Gallup when he came in. Michael Gallup wasn't playing in the slot a whole lot. Cole Beasley was there. So Cole says Dak will revive his career like he did with Randall Cobb. I agree. I think Washington, honestly, and I think we said this on Vacha's show, could have a Randall Cobb-esque season with Dak. And if you go back and look at Randall Cobb, it was 800 plus yards. He only had 3 touchdowns, but I lied to y'all not, man. I think 3 of them got called back. My guy, Mr. Woods, is skeptical of the offense this year. It's fair. Ghostface says Washington in the slot? ? I'd rather have Lamb there. This is just, it's fascinating because nobody's wrong when they say Lamb does his thing in the slot. He did. He had like 90 yards in the slot. But from a slot view, I don't view him as a slot receiver. I think, honestly, his traits are best outside. Because one thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, one thing I think we tend to kind of forget is his ability, his athletic ability to track the ball downfield, to go up and get the rock, to be physical at the catch point because he's in the slot and he's kind of catching it right away. Everything, for the most part, is either right up the seam or real quick 15 yards and in, and he's got to do some yak things. And he's great at yak, don't get me wrong. I do think there's other ways to get him involved with some yak things, starting outside, maybe motioning in, doing some things like they did with Cooper. How about this, Ghostface? Go look at Cooper's usage. He was something like 68% outside, 30-some% inside the slot. But they moved him around a lot in regards to pre-snap motion when we did it. And it kind of set him free a little bit. So I'm not mad at people that want to just kind of pigeonhole him into the slot because he was really damn good at it. But he also had some monster games as an outside wide receiver. And I think that's what he was drafted to be. He was drafted to be your number one, outside boundary wide receiver, dictate coverage. Teams have to game plan for him, et cetera, et cetera. That opens up things for your slot, for your tight end, for your backs, and for your X wide receiver. Russ says, you think Pollard plays slot at all this year? Sure. Motion on the back. He'll play it, but I don't think he's going to be the guy at slot wide receiver. Chris says we literally have no one who has specifically played slot though. Sure we do, Chris. Lamb played 93% of his snaps in the slot as a rookie, and James played 60% of his snaps at slot. I want to say in his second year, something like that. So we got guys that have played there. Do we have a guy who is primarily a slot receiver their career, like a Cole Beasley or Randall Cobb type? Nah, we don't. And honestly, that kind of will play into Lauren's question I'm about to get to here. And I'm going to talk to y'all about the team building process. I personally would build my team where there are specific roles for certain positions. Slot would be one of them. I wouldn't really mess around with that because I feel like you can easily get yourself a quality slot and you don't have to spend a ton of money on it. You don't have to spend a ton of draft picks on it as long as you have a philosophy in the slot. It doesn't seem like we do anymore because Mike likes everybody to do everything. Nah, Tino, I don't think Lamb is going to be our X. I think Gallup is going to be the X. At least he should be because I think he's more equipped to deal with the banging at the line of scrimmage. Shout out to my guy, Marcus Hardison. I don't got the fancy music that my boy Vach puts on. I don't got the fancy music, but he says, A to Z Sports Dallas, many of life's failures are people who didn't realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Can I give you a Salute the sky, too fly for the clouds, too down for the green grass. Salute to you, sir. Many of life's failures are people who didn't realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Man, you deep, brother. I think people who want Lamb in the slot because it's the only way he'll consistently get the ball. Did any of our guys really consistently get it though last year? All right, let me get to. Hold on, Professor Obi has something. I like having multiple players who can play in the slot personally. Sure, it's kind of reminds me of jack of all trades. Yeah, I could do everything, but you're not great at one thing. Yeah, it's 4 players to go in the slot, but who is that dominant slot guy? Right now, ain't none. Unless CD's just going to play slot primarily, and now Tolbert and Gallup. I mean, I'd rather have CD out there, personally. Let's go look at this other question. I think that ties into this kind of slot thing a little bit. And it's Lauren. Do we really have a good feature punt returner that can make plays, or are we just going to settle with the wide receiver servicing the duties? Are we going to care about all facets of the game, or are we settling again? The reason why I think this, and great question, Lauren, this ties into what I said, is because this is another position that is kind of like, hey, whatever. Just throw a guy back there. Just throw a guy back there. Cole Beasley, Seth Wilson, just catch it. That'd be done with it. I don't think it's that difficult to get you a down roster guy. I'd love for my wide receiver 5 to be that type of dude. My backup running back. I don't know why Tony can't really be a punt returner. Maybe. I don't know what that's about. I would ask that question. Like, hey, why not Tony Pollard? And for a long time, it's just kind of like, all right, you're just going to throw a guy back there just to catch it. They went out and got a Tavon Austin, and then they didn't let Tavon Austin do his damn thing in that Vikings game. Lucky Whitehead was actually pretty decent at it. I thought we were kind of at a turning point right there with Lucky Whitehead. I thought they were like, okay, now we see that this role can be had by a specific style of player. And they didn't bring back a Lucky Whitehead type. So I'm with you, Lauren. And that's why I tied it into the slot. I feel like it's not that difficult to get you a slot guy to do those slot things. It's cheap, and you can get some quality. And I think that Washington can be that one if they do it. Jay, you want to put CeeDee Lamb back there? Let me ask you that. Y'all want to put CeeDee Lamb back at punt returner this year? I would say no. Dwayne Harris. Oh, my gosh, Lauren. I'm like, that's what I mean. Right there. That's a perfect. Now Dwayne Harris's might not be, you just get them off of trees. But Dwayne Harris is perfect. He was your punt returner. He was your wide receiver 4. He played all the special teams. And that wasn't just a punt returner. He was damn good at it. Like, got Dwayne Harris in, like, what, 6th round or something like that? 4th round? I don't know what it was back at that time. But a Dwayne Harris, that is perfect example of a type of player to get. Where do we go? I got you, King. I'd rather spend a roster spot on a punt return specialist than Noah Brown. Special teams won and kept us in some games this year. I mean, I don't even know that I disagree. Now, can that return specialist also play other special team duties? That's the thing, right? Because if you bring in, here's the thing. We could really break this down. If you bring in a Lucky, if you bring in a Tavon, those guys aren't playing gunner. Those guys aren't on kickoff and things like that. But what you do to make sure you still squeeze all the value you can out of them, I end in the rounds. I will send you on deep shots. You're going to get about 10 snaps per game just to put the fear of God in the defense that you're going to take the top off the D. That's how you keep them kind of involved and not just say, hey, you just out there to catch punts. Whereas a guy like Dwayne, man, you want to talk about a jack of all trades. The dude could punt return, kick return, play kickoff, punt kickoff, all the special teams units. So there's different ways to go about it. I don't necessarily think there's either one of those guys on the team, not a Lucky Tavon type or Dwayne Harris type on this team right now. Noah definitely ain't got that wiggle. My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It fold. He definitely don't got that. Everybody's saying, hell no. I'm with y'all. You don't put CeeDee Lamb back there. And they're not. It looks like it's going to be Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, the punt return. I mean, he might surprise me, but he ain't no punt returner. I didn't think he was a punt return. TC said, hell no. CD is the only legit weapon we got at receiver. I ain't risking him for a few yards on punt return. Yeah, you don't put him back there. Jay said no for Tolbert on punt return, but it sounds like that's who's going to be the Cowboys punt returner. Oh, no, CJ. He says, what about TJ or Semi? Semi, maybe, because I do call him Sweet Feet Semi, but TJ, no. I don't think TJ got that wiggle either. Now, Vern. Vern says maybe Freiervogel or a punt as your punt return. Now, you want to talk about slot, Drummond, Freiervogel. Those are guys who I think can be a specific role, who could also do some special teams things for you. But do they make the roster? Jermaine Cobb wants Adam Humphries. Y'all just read Mel's comment. So let me take it back for a quick second. Y'all remember when we had Lucky Whitehead on the show when we were doing a late night hype? Boy, that was one of my favorite interviews that we did during that time period. Lucky, he ain't hold back at all. If y'all remember, there was a controversy around Lucky Whitehead and Ezekiel Elliott and his girl, and this is when the whole Zeke thing was going on. It was crazy. Luck said, I'm going to clear this air right now. I don't even have the video no more. It might be up on James or Law's show or channel. Go check it out. That was hilarious. King Element, I agree, Sky. You need someone like Harris who could legitimately play gunner and wide receiver along with being a punt returner. Yeah. All right. Before we get to the rest, Tino. Before we get to the rest of these questions, man, let me tell you about this week's ride of the week, which is the 2022 CX-9 Grand Touring, combining a handsome exterior and a near luxury interior and the surprisingly fun to drive nature. The 2022 Mazda CX-9 is a 3-row crossover for modern day buyers. I had this car as a loaner. I told my lady, I said, I might keep my car. I'm going to keep this. And I like SUVs. This ain't quite the SUV. It's more like I guess if it's 3 rows, you could say it is. But it ain't the SUV you would think I would want personally. But I really enjoy driving it, and I think you guys would too. So check out freemanmazda.net or visit Freeman Mazda in Irving, Texas.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
Let me tell you what he said. I ain't gonna tell you. I might ain't gonna do that. We just get back to it. Shout out to Freeman Moss. I ain't gonna do that. Mel, you something else. That's all I'm saying. Jay said Lucky told the true story. He did. He absolutely did. You can YouTube. Let me tell you something about that, Toxic. Toxic said, Sky, you know damn well when you get a new whip, the ladies say it's hers. My car is better. And it's safer. It has all the cool little things, whatever. When she drives, she always comes back. I like your car. I know. I know. Can I take your car? Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just take the car. I'm not even tripping. Just take the car. She gonna get that car. I know she's gonna get that type of car. It's coming. All right, man. Let's get back. Let's get back to the mailbag. Here we go. So we got two more. These come from YouTube. Birch 9 Exotics. Who's due for a breakout year? I want to hear what y'all guys say before I give y'all my answer, because we're going to have a show on this for sure. We're going to have a breakout year show. I'll probably name about 3 to 5 players who I think will have a breakout year, but I'll give y'all one, and I want to hear what y'all got to say about breakout year players, because Dallas is going to need them. When you don't have free agency or trade activity like Dallas, didn't do this offseason, you're going to need some unexpected guys or guys you expect to play good to have breakout seasons. So appreciate the question, Birch 9 Exotics. Who's due for a breakout year? That's how it starts. Yeah, that's how it starts, man. Jermaine says Osa. My bad. Money says Lamb. Gregory says Zeke. That's interesting. Zeke. Huh. Because he's kind of already had him, but expand on that, Gregory. CT said, can I get 2 slaps or 2 claps in the Ric Flair? Shout out to Bam Bam Bigelow, by the way. I don't know if y'all caught that. Rest in peace. Jabril Cox, that's a good one. Vern says J-Ron. I would say J-Ron had his breakout year last year. Think about this. If that wasn't his breakout year, I almost said Dak, but this kind of falls in line with Zeke. I feel like they kind of already did those things. There is the answer. TC915, you, sir, are correct. It's Malik Hooker. It is Malik Hooker. I think this is the year. I said this before when we talked about Malik Hooker a couple weeks ago. This is the year where we go back, not we, but draft people, the NFL, the Colts maybe, go back and say, that is the Malik Hooker we drafted. That's why he went top 15, 17, whatever it was that year, 20. That's why he was a first rounder. That's why teams fell in love with him. Because one, it looks like, and again, it's a 1 year, but let's just go off of that momentum, right? All right, he found a way to be healthy. He's a year removed from the nasty injury. And I always talk to y'all about the mentality of when you get injured. And a lot of that really came from listening to Malik Hooker talk. He spoke about how it's tough, and because he's dealt with it a number of times. But I think he's going to have a breakout year because he showed an aspect to his game that, he just didn't really show in the NFL. And that was the ability to play around the box. Not saying that he's going to do that, because his true strength lies on the roof. His true strength lies at, diagnosing plays, breaking on the ball, being in coverage, being a ball hawk, right? That's where his true strength lies. But if Malik can give you an ounce of some versatility that J-Ron gives you, man, you can do so many fun things with these safeties. Now, I'm not saying he's J-Ron, but what I'm saying is usually you go out on a defense and say, okay, I know this guy's going to be. DeMonte KZ is going to play 20 yards back. We can game plan for that. Lee Hooker might not. Lee Hooker might come down and guard you. He might stay back on the roof. He might be blitzing from the box. He might be roaming around like this, taking on your tight end. Get off me. You know what I mean? So I think Malik is on pace to have, I say on pace as if he's done something, but he's on track, barring injury, to finally have his true breakout year for the Dallas Cowboys. Sure, I'm being a tad bit biased because I love the position, but we saw the opportunities get put on J-Ron Kearse's lap, and he took it and ran with it. I think Malik has some of those similar traits to him in a sense of he's got the talent. He just needed the opportunity to stay healthy. And when he got the opportunity and he was healthy, he shined. It was just all about health. So his opportunity comes different from J-Ron. It's not necessarily teams giving it to him or coaches giving it to him. It's his own ability to stay healthy. King Element, this is the best safety duo we've had in years, period. Totally agree. Adrian says, due for a breakout season? Only answer is TP. Man, he been due. Yeah, if it was due, but what was the question? Let me see. Yeah, that's true. If it's due, I still would say you put up Malik Hooker up there too. He hasn't had his breakout yet. He's a first round pick with that kind of talent. Henry said, yeah, I definitely agree. I see that he was getting into his own zone, and Malik is a true ball hawk. Yep. It took him some weeks to kind of get his feet up under him. He came back from that injury. And again, we talk about how it takes like a year for you to kind of fully get back. But you saw him kind of come on towards the middle of that season. And if you go look at his snaps, most of the games that he played, like more than 30 snaps or whatever it was, those are some of his better games when he's moving around and doing things. All right, let's jump into the phone line. We got a call right here. We got, I think it's our guy, Damon. What's up, Damon?
What's poppin'? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's Friday. You know, I ain't get paid, but it's Friday. It's the weekend.
Hey, man, you got to wait 7 more days like the rest of us.
I got about 6 more days. Yeah, 6, 7 more days. Sometimes it's Thursday. Sometimes I get it on Wednesday. Hey, yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, if you get it on Wednesday and Thursday, well, then either way, you good.
Yeah, this is true. I ain't complaining.
Shit, ain't nobody listening.
What's up with you?
Chilling, man. Hey, so I had 2 quick points, but the first thing I wanted to bring up was something that somebody said before when you said when they said that Zeke was due for a breakout year. I actually believe that, man, because this is a whole different Zeke. Ever since Zeke grew his hair out, I don't know him. He's Ezekiel. When he had the short hair, when he had the fade, that's when he was Zeke and he was doing things. But either way, what I'm saying is my original point was if Tyler Smith can be what we think he can be at left guard, I think you see a resurgence of old Zeke. I think he could definitely have a breakout year. Now, one thing that I compared it to was I went back and looked at the Mike McCarthy years that they had Eddie Lacy. And Eddie Lacy was like a similar type of back if you look at, the way that Zeke is running these days. And they ran a lot of outside zones and a lot of, you know what I'm saying, and things like that to kind of get the line moving in one direction and then allow him to make one cut. There was not a whole lot of, coming right off the guard and, jamming it up the middle. There was a whole lot of things to be able to move and allow him to create some momentum, make a cut, and then go. So that's something that I'm hoping that they're going to implement a little bit more with Zeke. And I think with this, slimmed down version of Dak Prescott, again, this all goes back to if Tyler Smith can be what we think he can be at left guard. That's going to allow us to kind of free up the way that Dak likes to play and the way that Zeke is, better suited to play in these days. We got to get Zeke on the move. We can't just jam him right up the center's ass and expect something good to happen because it's not going to go that way anymore. Yeah. So that's something that I'm hoping that, that we're going to utilize a lot of, run pass option, things like that. But we got to get this line moving, and that's if Tyler Smith can be what we think he is.
Yeah, there was a question and I forget who it was. It said, Do I think that Tyler Smith can help Ezekiel Elliott? 100%. I didn't use it because I think that's an easy answer, right? Like Tyler Smith is going to be here to help the run game, whether it be Zeke or Tony Pollard. But fantastic observation in regards to Zeke, because when I say thunder lightning with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, I'm saying that, tongue in cheek, because let me just say this. While Zeke is more of a hammer, he's not a pow mover. I know you're probably like, what? Yes, he does. Hear what I'm saying. The thunder aspect, when I think about that, I think of the Ron Dane, Tiki Barber, or the Brandon Jacobs, and Ahmad Bradshaw. Those guys, literally 240, 50, 60-pound dudes are carrying entire teams, and they're moving the pow because they're huge. Zeke's thunder, he got a little lightning to him in regards to how he cuts and his vision and things like that. So he's not full-fledged thunder. So running him right up behind the center's ass and asking him to just, power over 330-pound defensive tackles time in and time out, that's really not the way to use him. I don't think you should hammer him either. But getting Tyler 100%. Smith and that athletic ability on the move, on pulls, I don't know necessarily on tosses, I guess, unless it's like one of those tosses that Shanahan does. I love those tosses, by the way. It's like a slingshot toss where they go one way. And
man.
They're awesome. But yeah, I'm with you. Get a Tyler Smith on the move, a Zach Martin, even Tyron Smith is still good on the move. Yeah. Terrence Steele is good on the move. Get these boys moving. Let Zeke read and react behind them. And then when he gets to this level right here, and you want to come, one of those cornerbacks want to try to meet him, that's where that thunder comes into play.
Man, you just took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is like every time I watch the 49ers, they do not put their offensive linemen in disadvantageous positions. Mm-hmm. They are constantly moving them. It doesn't matter what the front is that's in front of them. That's why they were effective against the Rams. Like, yes, they had Aaron Donald and they had Von Miller and things like that, but they're still able to move the ball because it is much harder to control an offensive lineman when he is already moving. They know where the play is going. The defender doesn't. So if they have to react to where you're moving, I don't understand why we're not doing that. We have athletes, but we're not utilizing them correctly. And I don't understand why Kellen Moore refuses. We play this old school Jason Garrett style of football that does not work in today's NFL.
Just look at Kyle. This is just how I know I talk about Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniels. Maybe I'll give the credit to Mike McDaniels, how they used Trent Williams in that playoff game and towards the end of the season. They had Trent Williams going in motion. Can you imagine, bro, if you're Dante Fowler and Tyron Smith is coming in motion, and at the snap he's got a head start?
Mm-hmm.
You're done. You're done.
Absolutely done. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't understand the lack of creativity that we have with using the athletes that we have. I do not it's just something that blows my mind, man, where they think that we're just going to line up and dig these guys out of the box every single time. It doesn't work like that. Tyron is not that guy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything in our offensive DNA needs to evolve and needs to change. And I am praying that we get the Mike McCarthy offense of the Aaron Rodgers era, because that offense was incredible. I mean, they had a wide receiver who ran for nearly 1,000 yards. With that type of offense, with that type of creativity where everything was moving and you create all these mismatches, I don't understand why we don't do that. I mean, we have literally zero pre-snap motion every single game.
Go see. Listen, you're on to something here that I think we've mentioned a bit, and this is how you know McCarthy doesn't truly have his fingerprints on this offense. You go look at McCarthy's tenure when they had Eddie Lacy and Ty Montgomery and John Starks. I think John Starks, that's the basketball player. What was the Starks kid? I forget his first name, but the Starks kid. James Starks, thank you. He utilized really a committee approach. He truly did. Even though Eddie Lacy had a 1,000-yard season, all these guys were involved in one way, in one shape or form, in a heavy capacity. You know, Ty Montgomery was catching balls out the backfield. Starks was involved as that number 2 guy. Like, they were heavily involved. Now it seems as though we don't really want to truly heavily involve Tony Pollard. Now, TP himself, he had a whole lot of yards last year from the running game standpoint, because he was just that dude when he touched the rock. But there's no reason why he shouldn't have at least 220 total touches in the season. No reason why he shouldn't.
Exactly. I am praying that Mike McCarthy realizes that his job is on the line and he gets way more involved. Like I want to see some passion in this offense and some creativity and some movement. That is literally all we're asking for as Cowboys fans, man. Like, look, we're not jaded enough to think that, we're just going to go to the Super Bowl and we're going to win it and blah, blah, blah. Look, it's been 20-some-odd years. We just want to be competitive. We want to get to at least sniff an NFC championship game at this point, and we're just sick of the monotony. Give us something creative, man. Allow these defenses to actually think about what's going to happen when they play the Cowboys for once. They know ain't nobody got a game plan for the Cowboys no more. They know exactly what we're going to do. First down to fourth down, quarter 1 to quarter 4. They know exactly what we're going to do. They know what to force us into. They know what we're not good at. I just don't understand why we have no versatility, man. So I'm going to get out the way, man. Check me out on YouTube, Rough Draft Sportscast. You be easy, Skywalker Steel. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate you, Damon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Damon. Good call, man. Good stuff there. And honestly, that ties kind of right into our final question of the mailbag. What's some good segues today? D. Chavez on YouTube says, question, if we're faced with a losing season, does Kellen Moore remain on the staff? Well, see, Dean went all the way left. He could have said, well, if our offense doesn't look so great, well, Kellen Moore. He said, if we're faced with a losing season, D. Chavez, if we're faced with a losing season, the entire offensive coaching staff needs to be gone. All of them. Let me ask y'all something. Who on the offensive coaching staff are you like, oh my goodness, we absolutely have to keep them? It ain't Skip Pete. Like, we know Skip been around the block. We got a new wide receivers coach. Maybe Lunda Wells and let's be real, I mean, the tight end coach. Doug Nussmeier. I don't know how Doug's been sticking around for a long time. Salute to him. But Doug Nussmeier, we really like, we got to keep Doug Nussmeier. We got to keep Kellen Moore. If this happens, right? No. But flip that thing, right? Flip it. What if, and I know we're playing a what if game. What if it's losing season, but it looks like 2015? Y'all remember that? For those who don't remember, I would just say the name Greg Hardy. But if you really go look at that 2015 season, the defense wasn't bad. The defense was a solid defense. So if the defense is a solid defense, the offense just can't get it together. You have a losing season. You're 7-9 or 10 or 8-9 or whatever. You go into the other side of the ball. I could name you off guys you want to keep. Dan Quinn for starters. Joe Witt. I think we've seen Al Harris have an impact on these guys. We hear them talk about it. Coach AD. It seems like we talk about coaching up these dudes. Man, AD coach them up. Again, I'm supposed to talk to somebody today. I'm going to ask about AD and how he kind of resonates in that locker room. So I think there's a handful of guys on the other side of the ball. If this season falls flat on his face, hey, Witt, come on back here, bro. DQ, where you going, man? Come on back here. So, who are you keeping on the offensive side of the ball? Is the question. Tino, do not put that evil on me, sir. He says he will be the next head coach. Big Flock says Kellen got to go. He's not convinced Kellen is a leader of men. Cannot take charge to run this team. Just listen to him during press conferences. So Kellen has to prove himself. I'm not there yet to say he has to go. This is the year. This is a crucial year to me. Another one of these type of years where he fools all of our fans that, hey, number one offense, man. But we average 40 points against these bums. And then when it comes to time to play these good teams or we get to the playoffs and the game plans are horrendous, TP's not touching the rock. We're not doing the things that work. But y'all going to throw the volume stats at me. I'm going to give up. I'm not going to have the conversation anymore. I don't know how many more times you want to see this same story play out. hot than not. Terrible teams, numbers are crazy. Good teams, you're losing, or the game plans look like trash because you got smart offense or defense coordinators. So this is a prove-it year for me for Kellen because we see that he has the ability at times. Now we just got to see him continue to grow. I know it sucks that we have to have this guy learn on a job with the team that we're tired of the learning on a job situation. Jason Garrett had to learn on the job. Kellen Moore has to learn on the job. So this is a big year, man. Now, in regards to the leader of head coaching, absolutely. If he was a head coach, yeah, I'd be ready. No, ready for him to go. He's not a head coach. Yeah, AD Durday is I think they really like Durday in there, so I'm gonna talk about him later today. Remember how Jason Garrett got Wade Phillips fired, then got the head coaching job? Boy, I hope that ain't the case. Me and Toxic, we kind of joke about this a lot. It smells very Jason Garrett-ish. Let me think something. Almost to the year. Wade Phillips was in his 4th season. I mean, let's run. Jason Garrett was in his 4th season. Here we go. When Dallas started off terrible, they fired Wade Phillips, and then Jason Garrett became the interim head coach. Kellen Moore's in his 4th season. Many people keep dubbing this year as a punt for Sean Payton. But what if worst case happens? They punting at the beginning of the year, but it ain't for Sean Payton. Oh, come on, man. And I put this damn evil in my head. I had a couple super chats. My bad. I missed y'all. Toxic with the $2 super chat.
Super chat.
Sky, remember how? Yeah. Remember how Garrett became head coach? Yeah. Putting this evil in my head, man. Coach Marv, $2 donation. Appreciate you.
Super chat.
He says, man, I hope Kellen breaks out. We're talking about breakout players, breakout coach. Kellen breaks out in big games. Yeah. Does Kellen not know what defenses are doing? I'm sure he does. I don't think Kellen's dumb. I truly don't. I think he has an ego. He may be Pizza Boy, right? Boy Wonder, Poindexter. But I listen to Kellen. He got an ego, man. And a lot of us have an ego, but he thinks, my way is going to work. Just trust me. I got this. And in a way, that's not a bad, demeanor to have. It's just, since when has your way isn't proven in this league from from a end game standpoint? Because if we keeping it a buck, Chip Kelly's way worked. Yeah, sure, Chip Kelly had some games. He had a year, whatever. Chip Kelly got figured out. Now Chip Kelly over there in UCLA coaching. I digress. Yeah, again, man. I'm piecing it together, and it got me a little bit even more nervous, man. Big Flock said DQ up next. That would be my guy. I know it's not popular because we love him as defensive coordinator. Excuse me. But if he can kind of just delegate in a way like Bruce Arians did, I love it. But I don't want to see DQ hands off again. I think in Atlanta, you can feel that, he got tired of being hands off and he took over the reins. I think it was in 2019 at some point, calling the plays again. But it gets tough when you got to prepare for the next play, but also watch the clock, challenge a play, get with your offense. It gets tough to do all that. So if he does become head coach, and I think he is a leader of men, no player in Atlanta had a negative thing to say about him. I don't even think Arthur Blanks really wanted to get rid of DQ, but it was one of those things where, hey, man, it's just time. We had our good run. We went to the Super Bowl. We won some playoff games. You got more winning seasons and losing, but the trajectory is going down. It's time for a switch up, and that happens in the league. Toxie says, Sky, just act surprised when Kellen Moore is named head coach. You keep talking this up. All right, I told y'all we was going to roll out this TV. That's exactly what it was today. This was a good rollout TV day, though. Like I said, the questions were fantastic. Y'all are fantastic in the chat. I'm going to give us about 5 more minutes if you want to call in. If you want to drop some more questions in the chat, comments, whatever, I'll try to get to them as best I can. This is where I wish I did have a producer in a way, because they can kind of give me some comments I missed. Because let me tell y'all what I do. I go back and I watch this just like film. And I go in the comments. I'm like, damn, that's a damn good comment, but I missed it. Or damn, he was talking shit. I wanted to call him out. I missed it. So I don't got that. But it's a good rollout TV day. Good rollout TV day. James says, I will take DQ over Sean Payton and his offense. Oh, that's a good conversation. James, you just opened up. Like, that's really something that I have to sit and think about. Man. I bring this, who said that? James Ruff? Bring this back up. Maybe not Monday. We'll have another slow day next week. I'm going to write that down. We're going to have a conversation about that. Monday, I think we're going to pick up the State of the Unit. We will talk DTs regardless. I know I said we would do it today. I had to call an audible. If things go well today, regardless, it's going to be Monday, but you'll see why it'll be Monday. So we'll talk DTs Monday, but that's a good conversation. Honestly, it's probably an off-season conversation next year, but we're in a slow period. I think that's a fantastic one, though. A fantastic conversation. D Shift says, DQ head coach or not, we still have to get another offensive play caller. And that's why I think it's fantastic convo, because I agree with you. DQ, whether he head coach or not, who's running up? Whereas if Sean Payton is the guy, he can keep DQ. Y'all feel me? I digress. Because I think DQ and Sean, now, you know what? We can just do it right now. I think DQ and Sean Payton both are good leaders of men. One can lead the offense, one can lead the defense. Nick said, kids don't know about that rollout TV. Nah, man. Boy, when you saw this come out, it was on. Give me a good nap. Y'all remember them school naps? Woo, fall asleep in school. I don't know whether it be study hall or boring class or something like that. The worst part about those naps, though, is, I don't know about y'all, but y'all ever sleep so good in school, got your head down, and the next thing you know, you just jump, your knee just jump, your leg just jump, and it's because it feel like you're falling. I know there's a scientific word for that or something like that, but you feel like you fell off of a ledge or something, and you just wake up real hard, just jumping. That's a good nap. Scared to shot you, though. I tell you what, says Richard, Kellen don't put up 40 points a game. You don't even see the playoffs, so stop the nonsense. I tell you what, what is that? What are we saying here, bro? Are you saying if Kellen? I tell you what, Kellen don't put up 40 points a game, you don't see the playoffs. What does that mean? Are you talking about last year? Newsflash. Dallas didn't need to score 40 points per game against the NFC East, because that's where they average 40 points per game. Outside of the NFC East, they averaged 24 points per game. They didn't need to score 40 points to beat up on the NFC East, but they did, though. If that's what you're getting at. King Element said, man, them rolling TVs came in. It was a wrap, an absolute wrap. And for whatever reason, to me, October Sky sticks out. That might tell you my age a little bit. But October Sky sticks out. This was high school, though, I think. I don't know why. And I don't even think we watched October Sky. Like, I think it was part of the actual curriculum. But that just kind of pops in my head. I don't know why. That and, what's it, To Kill a Mockingbird? Did you read To Kill a Mockingbird over the summer? Yeah, I did. I promise you I did. please let them roll out this TV for the please. Here come the TV. They go put yes. Cause I damn sure ain't reading no To Kill a Mockingbird. I was outside killing real mockingbirds. Coach Marv says Sky Kellen to the box. Let's push it. Yeah, let's do it. I wasn't killing. By the way, I was not killing mockingbirds. Because that's serial killer stuff. Let's run that back. A to Z. Look at my eyes, as my guy Vosh would say. I did not kill a mockingbird. I just want to let y'all know that. People crazy out here. All right, we got a call. All right, we get a little call in before we leave. We in OT. It's Friday. We got James, a truck driver. Ain't heard from my guy in a minute. What up?
Young Sky, what's good, man?
What up, man? We having fun.
Hey, look, I made the comment in the chat. I said I'd take Dan Quinn and his defense over Sean Payton. I know you wanted to hold off next week, but I wanted to say this.
We talking
the
about
reason why I would take Dan Quinn and his defense is because Dan Quinn, a defensive-minded head coach, is going to have a running game. And when you have a running game, that will open up everything else. If we get Sean Payton in here, who I don't want, but let's say if Sean Payton let's say they fire Mike McCarthy and they hire Sean Payton. Dan Quinn is gone. Our defensive philosophy is gone.
Wait, James. Why do you think Dan Quinn's gone? Why can't you have Sean Payton and Dan Quinn?
I mean, I don't see Dan Quinn staying with Sean Payton being hired as the head coach.
But my question,
don't see that.
You already said that, but why?
Ego.
What's why? Think about it. Sean Payton doesn't control the defense. In fact, you could argue he's already in a similar situation with the head coach Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is an offensive guy, and Mike McCarthy lets Dan Quinn do his thing. Sean Payton had plenty of Dennis Allen, Greg Williams, Rob Ryan. He let them guys do their thing on defense.
Okay, you make a good point. I see. I feel you. I see Sean Payton as being, and I could be wrong, so I'm not going to say that. Hey, it would be great. The bottom line, get Kellen Moore ass up out of here.
That is the bottom line.
And what I don't want to do is I do not want to disturb this masterpiece that we are building called a defense. We are building a masterpiece. You can see it forming right before your eyes. Let me pull over. I'm in my car, Sky. I ain't in the truck.
Hey, pull.
I'm in my car.
Okay, I don't want you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are building a masterpiece called a defense. We haven't had this shit for years, and I do not want to disturb this. We got a quarterback. We got a quarterback, and we got two running backs. Man, if that damn offensive coordinator will get his head out of the sand and create some type of running game, I would feel better about the wide receivers that we have.
Right.
But because we got this nut calling the plays, and he's going to try to throw the ball all over the damn place, it's going to minimize our running attack, and it's going to make it harder for CD and everybody else.
Let me make you feel even better about Sean Payton. And I know this ain't supposed to be all about Sean. Sean Payton notoriously does have really good running games. Like, we forget Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara is always a top 5 duo. Some years they top 2, 3, whatever, right? We forget when he won the Super Bowl. Was it Pierre Thomas, y'all? And was it Reggie Bush? And I think they had another one. So Sean Payton is right along those same lines. Yes, I may have a dynamic quarterback. Yes, I may have a dynamic passing offense, but I understand that I also need to have an efficient and good running game as well. So I'd argue if you get Sean in here, you will see if TP and Zeke are still on this team, a tandem like that be worked to perfection and help balance this offense, which if you have a balanced offense, you don't need 3 crazy wide receivers. The reason why I argued you needed to have these top dudes is because if Kellen's going to go with, hey, man, we just got to take what the defense gives us, then damn it, you need guys out there that at any given moment they can take over the game. And we had that at one point when we had all 3 of those guys. But go back and watch or just go look at the stats and the players that they had on the Super Bowl teams and the great teams. Tell me what crazy-ass wide receiver core that Sean Payton ever had.
He did.
He had a Marquise Colston. He had a Ted Ginn. He had Michael Thomas. So he had a Colston and Thomas. It was the dude. And then he had specialty guys that he drafted or that he brought in free agency, and he used them because what do I always say, James, in chat? Great coaches, great coordinators know how to elevate specialty players. I don't see that from Kellen Moore, right? It's, hey, this is the box I want you to be in. And this is what you're going to do.
Right.
So I'd argue Sean and DQ would be a match made in heaven.
I agree with you. And if it would form that way, hey, I would be ecstatic. But the main thing is I want Kellen Moore ass up out of here. Look, I'm tired of the on-the-job training. I'm tired of it. We went through the same stuff with the redhead dude. You know what I'm talking about? Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
We went through the same thing with him. On-the-job training. Then he got elevated to head coach after he fucked Wade Phillips. Now we dealing with Kellen Moore. And I'm going to say this about Kellen Moore, then I'm going to roll out.
Sure.
Kellen Moore was a quarterback coach 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
After that, he got elevated to offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore has not done anything other than that in coaching since he has been coaching.
I know.
And with that, he does not have the experience, nor is he not a leader of men.
He definitely ain't that.
To be an offensive coordinator. When you are a head coach, and if you, I'm gonna say when you're a coach, when you are a coach and you are coaching players, and the players buy into your system, they will run through a brick wall for you.
That's true.
These damn offensive players, and I can pull off now. These offensive players are not going to run through a brick wall for this bullshit system that he has. The system is we are going to aggressively take what the defense
The
gives
hell does
us.
that even mean? But
That is some bullshit, and that's why Schultz succeeded last year because they took what the defense they aggressively took what the defense gave us. He don't scheme players open. That's why Coop had the season that he had.
Coop came out about week
bullshit.
15, and Coop had to literally call him out without calling him out. You don't hear that about Dan Quinn. But hey, James, you want a heater, and I appreciate it. But there's a couple more callers I want to get to as we end the show, brother. But you're absolutely right, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. And if you want to revisit that thing next week, I had to call you. If
we
you
on
want
it.
to revisit
We
it
on
next
it.
week,
No,
man,
we on it now, bro. We on it now. We got time.
Okay. All right, bro.
We ain't doing
I
nothing.
appreciate you, bro.
All right, fam. Man, I could go on and on about this situation, but you hear so many players talk glowingly of Dan Quinn. Previous players, current players, whatever. How many are saying that about Kellen? I'll tell you. One. And y'all know who that one is. It's his buddy. It's his friend. It's his former roommate. It's Dak Prescott. That's it. I don't hear nobody else like, man, yo, we love what we're doing, man. Kellen Moore, he nothing. I mean, ever since I came here, Kellen Moore, nothing. Kellen Moore go out there, he mad, smug, like, man, listen. And it took Cooper to come out and call him out without saying his name. I'm not saying that's what got him, the axe, but digress, man. All right, we got 2 more. Let me lock these up. Good way to end the show here with y'all. What's up, Coach Marv?
Scott. What's going on, brother? I just want, man, I had to call in just for a few seconds.
Yeah.
because I want to let the other caller know, man, he was preaching.
He was.
I love every bit of his call, and even you had to straighten him out on one thing because Sean Payton does run the football.
Yeah, he does.
They were top. People forget the Super Bowl year that they won Super Bowl. They led the league in rushing with a combined with dual backs. Even though Drew Brees had this.
And coach, their receivers was Marcus Golston, and I think somebody named Robert Meacham, and they didn't have 3 number ones. You know what I'm saying? Right. Jeremy Shockey, who was still good at tight end, but it wasn't like they had this ridiculous set of pass catchers like the Cowboys had the last couple of years. But
Right, and Sean Payton has always been a very creative guy. But the thing that Sean Payton was not on his creativity, Sean Payton he knows how to work the mental with his team of not letting them eat the
psychological,
the rat cheese and the cool. And that's what, as I was saying, and I've always said that you need to be a special leader of men with the distractions that you have in Dallas with all of the glitz and glamour. That's why there's only special leaders of men that have done well in Dallas. The ones that keep the inside the star back in the day inside Valley Ranch made that the sanctuary of work and never let guys get too high or too low because the surrounding areas is so much to go on. So that's why you need that special type of a leader of men to be a coach. And as I told before, what Mike McCarthy said, and that's not to get on Mike McCarthy, but as Kellen Moore, but as Mike McCarthy said that his team came out and he felt that they were a little fearful in the San Francisco game.
He's nervous.
I credit that against Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. Because
true leaders of men promote confidence, not fear.
And can I add on to that? I think B. Bird says something like this: that nervousness comes from not having confidence in your preparation. Because if you're confident in what you're doing,
promote confidence.
I'm nervous about it.
Not fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what your job is. If you're a true leader of men, you're gonna promote confidence in your troops, not fear. So when you say those things, that's a reflection of you. And I don't believe the defense was. Let's think about it in that game. Yeah, the defense came out. Yeah, we could say that they had to get themselves in rhythm, but the defense didn't give up. If it wasn't a turnover in the second half, they wouldn't have gave up no points.
The defense got it together in the second half. But I'm just sitting here thinking about
your offense played timid the whole time because you didn't allow them to be physical.
Offense game plan.
You allowed them to. Right, you didn't allow them to be physical, and when you didn't allow them to be physical, you allowed San Francisco with a banged-up defense attack us. And in a close game like that, I keep telling people it's amazing in a close game like that San Francisco runs the ball 40 times and we run 21 times. And it's not like they was running for massive yards. They ran the ball 40 times and run for 160 yards. We ran the ball 21 times, and our two backs, okay, you can name, and at 40 times, Debo ran the ball 11 times. Do we know who the tailback for San Francisco is other Debo? Can anybody name him?
We can name him because we played them and some. We know Elijah Mitchell, but nonetheless, they're not.
And he had 27 carries.
Yeah.
And he ain't better than Zeke or Tony Pollard.
No, he's not. No.
So, again, we like you said, I hope, and as I said in the super chat, I hope that Kellen has a breakout season. But this is now with all the stuff that we have talked about, and I think it's out there with a lot of people, and I think a lot of it is coming across. This is an opportune time if Mike McCarthy is who he say he is, a leader of men.
I got some
to take the reins of this because he will have support of the nation. And that rules well with having support was the ownership, because they listened to the nation. So if he does it now, he would never.
Oh yeah, this is a do or die situation for Mike McCarthy. It may not quite be for Kellen because we know they love Kellen, but it's most certainly a do or die for Mike McCarthy.
But like I said, Scott, man, your show promotes a lot of great stuff, man. But I like to tell that caller, great man, and your content is pushing. We're gonna push for Kellen to maybe
hit that
be in the box. Hopefully, he can maybe get that to him, and maybe he can see the clear eye view of seeing things. And this is about part of him growing and being able to grow as an offense coordinator. But we're gonna have to win this year. If we win this title, we may have to do it to 85 Bears with a little bit better offense, because our offense is gonna be good. But we just gotta hope this defense go to where we think it can go, and then we can make a big playoff run. Have a good weekend, Scott.
Appreciate you, Coach. Hey, if I get up in that press conference, I'll ask that question. Hey, Kellen, you ever think about going to the booth? Why or why not? I ask it. But as he was talking about all that, I had to write this down so I didn't forget. What I'm about to say, we've essentially been talking about this, but I haven't put it in these words. We talk about Kellen learning on the job all the time. In a way, so is Mike McCarthy. And it kind of just dawned on me. And I never said it in that manner. We just kept talking about, well, he got snipped. He's not a play caller. He's a walk-around coach, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that is actually learning on the job. Mike McCarthy in his entire career has never been a walk-around as coach, has never been as detached from the offense. Granted, he's in the meeting rooms, he's yada, yada. But he has been ingrained as a play caller. Second and two. Hey, man, he's calling the plays. He's not just sitting there like this listening to Kellen Moore, and he's probably want to say that dumbass play call. And he can't do nothing about it because he's snipped. So think about this for a second. You got two guys at critical positions in your organization learning on the damn job. And you wonder why there's some weird dysfunction in regards to power or whatever in the hierarchy of Dallas. You can't have that. You just can't have that. So even this year, he's still going to be learning because he doesn't quite have the offensive reins, but they want him to be more involved. So boy, it's really it's just strange in Dallas, and we just have to overcome that strangeness. It's not like it's not possible. I mean, it's possible. But I say it all the time. I feel like these players have to overcome what's around them, and that makes it harder on said players. Sam, Kellen Moore's the number one play caller in NFC according to PFF. Yeah, we talked about that. Shout out to my bro Vach in the building. He says, Sky just waiting for that weekend. Boy, am I. Last caller of the day. What's up, Russell D?
What's up? How are you, Skywalker?
I'm good, man. You the final call of the day. My weekend starts. In a way, I got a little something around noon, but after that, my weekend is fully starting. I'm excited for it. What's up with you?
Another great show as usual. Hey, I just wanted to see if your horizon's the same as mine in the same line. When I look at the Cowboys the last few years, I look at the landscape of the NFC. I don't look at so much what else is the NFC East doing, because we already moved on to that point, us as fans, as what we want to do this year. So looking back at Green Bay, Rams, Tampa Bay, Niners, and Arizona, that's our main competition. Looking at those teams, who really you thought got better than what we did in the offseason overall at the landscaping? I mean, if you look at it, like the main team that points out is still the Rams. So just looking at like Green Bay, they're going to have opportunities. They don't know what's going on with losing Devontae Adams. So you look at Tampa Bay, there's no AB and there's no Gronk, and they lost offensive linemen. And so, they lost more minuses and additions. Look at the Niners. They're going with Garoppolo, without Garoppolo.
No, Garoppolo's still there.
Yeah, but he's not going to be the starter. They already named, Trey Lance the starter already. They already told Garoppolo, don't come to camp.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, did you know that?
Mm-mm.
They already told Garoppolo that he didn't need to come to right now to OTAs and about all that stuff because right now they're still saying that they're going to try to trade him away. So you look at them, and then you look at Arizona. They had a lot of minuses on that team. So I'm just looking at it like who got further ahead of us. Who stayed with us. What's the one team we got to look at during the. Those are the teams we got to worry about. It's not the Washingtons. The Eagles definitely got better, but until number 2, Hurts proves to me that he can hit the barn with a ball. I'm not buying that guy, and I'm not buying that team. They got a great team around him, but his accuracy is just.
No, well, yeah.
You know what?
Screw these. Let's talk about the teams that you said very quick here. I thought it was interesting. You said who stayed with us. What massive improvement did the Cowboys make from a personnel standpoint that we are the standard and not the Super Bowl champions or the team that played the Super Bowl champions or was the Super Bowl champions prior? So let me just go through the 3 teams that we're talking about. You could low-key throw Green Bay in there if you want because of A-Rod, but we're not. We're going to say they got worse, and cool. We'll just use the 3 teams you talked about. The 49ers. Sir, they went to the NFC Championship in the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, and we're questioning if they can be a threat to us this year. Is that what you're saying? They didn't get worse.
Yeah,
I don't think they got worse from a personnel standpoint.
Without Garoppolo, I think it's a major drop-off.
Well, right now, let me just make sure. I mean, I know he's still on the team. So until he's not on the team, they still have Jimmy. And I'll say this again. They went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. They went to the NFC Championship game with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know. We don't know what Trey Lance is, but I know Jimmy ain't shit in the playoffs. So the 49ers, until they can show me that they can't be a valid team with a mediocre quarterback, I respect the 49ers, and they're a team that we're going to be competing with. Now let's move on. You're really doubting the LA Rams?
Yeah, that's the team I'm saying that looks like they had more additions.
Okay. So we're not okay. So the Rams aren't on this radar then, because I hope they're not. The Rams are legit. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Okay.
What I'm saying is these are the teams that we got to really worry about, and like the Rams are probably the only team.
Yeah, but you're saying these teams they have to keep up with us. Let me get to Tampa, brother. I don't give a damn if they lost Antonio Brown. Tom Brady has made Dante Stallworth a Super Bowl MVP, and he still got Russell Gage, who was a good slot guy, by the way. He still got Mike Evans, and he still got what's the cat's name? I'm thinking Godwin. He still got Godwin. Yeah, and playoff Lenny is a problem. We doubting Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a threat.
Godwin's still in with the. Oh, I do, but I think that don't forget Godwin's in the same boat as Gallup. Same deal.
I'm not comparing our rosters. I'm just saying Tampa, 49ers, Rams, until proven otherwise, unless they have a complete nosedive, they are teams that they're not trying to keep up with us. We're trying to keep up with them.
That's what I'm kind of saying. Those are probably the teams that you look at that didn't really get any better than us. Like they're better than us, but they didn't like really separate themselves like I think the Rams still are. But I think that Dallas still has, they just got to overcome this Amari Cooper thing with him being gone.
Honestly, bro, I think the Cooper. So I don't want to knock Cooper, but I think the passing offense once Gallup gets back will be the least of your worries as long as Dak is healthy and they abandon this whole crap of, hey, we just going to take what the defense gives us. If Kellen gets a little bit better schematically and Dak is healthy, we'll be fine from a passing offense standpoint, I think.
I just hope that's not a long-term thing. I just hope they can get back by week 4, and I keep on looking at the Rams running back, Ecker. or Akers. Look how quick he came back.
But Bay's not good, Richard. What are you talking about?
There's no reason why he can't come back like that. He came back in the season. He got hurt, in training camp, and he came back in the season and the playoffs. So, or actually before the season ended, he came back. Last few games, I think it was. So I can't see why he can't come back as quick as possible.
Michael Gallup, talking about?
Yeah, Gallup. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to rush him back. He's signed a 5-year deal. He's going to be here for a long time. So, make sure he's all the way right.
Yeah. I'm hoping so, though. I'm hoping he can come back by at least, game 2 or 3. I don't want to have to go a long term without him. I can tell you that. I think it's going to be tough to.
I don't either. I don't either.
But again, like I said, going back to Tampa Bay, don't forget how close that game was opening day last year. And look, they had more. I mean, they had a lot of minuses this year. I think Dallas at home is gonna. I think Dallas is gonna win that battle opening day. I really do. I do. I think they're gonna win that battle with Tampa Bay.
Dallas can beat Tampa. They can beat the Rams. They can beat Cincy. Definitely at the beginning of the year, barring injury. Will they be favored? Probably not. But I think there's enough there to. They almost beat them last year. You know what I'm saying? Although it was last year, a better team to start the season. I get it. But sure, they can beat them. I don't give a damn about beating them in the play. I do. I shouldn't say I don't give a damn. I do care about beating them in the play or in the regular season. So when we get to the playoffs, you lost to Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. So if you lost to that team, I don't think it's better than these other teams. You got some catching up to do.
True. Absolutely. But I think it's those teams we need to worry about, not the NFC.
It's those teams that should be the standard. And I had to use the term standard, but that should be the measuring stick, not the Washington football people, not Philly,
exactly.
Not New York. If Dallas don't win this division this year, it's either because of injuries or they just aren't as good as what we perceive them to be.
Exactly. And that would be the telltale of the coaching position, too.
Could be.
Pretty much. Yep. Well, I don't want to keep you, man. Another great show. I appreciate you taking my call.
No problem.
And have an awesome week.
Thank you, Russ, man. You enjoy your weekend, brother.
Take care.
My man said he ain't good. Rich said, Rich, what we doing, Rich? Tampa Bay not good. All right. He said, what the hell you talking about, Sky? Tampa Bay is not good. This is the part of the fandom where I'll be like, why? It's cool to acknowledge and respect your opponents. It's cool to understand that's a Tom Brady over there. That ain't just a Jimmy Garoppolo. That's a Tom Brady over there. You go find me where Tom Brady was not good. You know what I'm saying? A Tom Brady team was not good. We're not talking about, they didn't win the Super Bowl, so they weren't good. No. Bro, he had worse teams offensively in New England and did damage. And tell me they ain't good. Ain't like their defense just got crazy worse. They lost Sue, but they replaced it with Hicks. I digress. Come on, man. What are we doing? You want Tampa to be good. You play Tampa opening week. And Rich, if that is your opinion, if Dallas comes on here and they lose to Tampa, I don't want to hear you on here talking about, man, man, Tampa look, whew. Them boys, man, they got Tom Brady. That's a good team. That's a damn good team. No, you want Tom Brady and them boys to be good. So when you whoop their ass, you can come back on there and say, we whooped on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay. We ain't beat Tom Brady ever. We whooped on him. So, Rich, if that's how you feel here June 24th, that's cool. If that's how you feel come September 11th, all right, let's see what happens. And if we do beat them, don't come on here talking about we beat a good team and, you know what I'm saying? And nope, they a bad team. They're a bad team. Aaron says, don't be an Eagles fan. Say everyone sucks. I try to bring a different feel on here because You really truly want, who do we play? I'll bring up the damn. I'm gonna tell you who you want to be a good team. We're gonna get out of here. You want all these teams to be good teams, but keep it a bean. Come on with it. Come on with it. There we go. Right, chill. You want Tampa to be good. You want the Bengals to be good. We know Giants and Commanders, whatever. You want the Rams to be good. You kind of want the Eagles to be good. Vikings. I want to see the Jaguars get better. I don't know if they're going to be all that good. Packers, obviously. Titans, and the Colts. I think we talked about this schedule before, and I think I had 4 or 5 teams. Bucks, Bengals, Rams, and Packers. Those were like the big 4 where, to me, those were measuring stick games. But I would like to see Minnesota be competitive. I would like to see Titans. I would like to see the Colts, because those are the type of tough, hard games you're going to need to have towards the end of the year as you go into the playoffs to prepare for the tough, hard games you're going to face. And the Titans as well. You already know the slander we got from beating up on bad teams. We don't want to go through that again. We don't want to be Philly 0-9 against good teams, winning records or whatever the hell it was. No. I hope the Bucks and the Bengals and all these other teams are good teams. So if and when Dallas gets a dub on some of these teams, we're not coming back here like, oh, well, they beat up on a bad team. And I digress. Aaron says, you glad you played the good ones at the beginning of the year? Yes. Yes and no. Yes, because I think Dallas was supposed to be their healthiest. They won't have Michael, but you're going to have ample amount of time to prepare for the Bucks and Bengals. Like, I'm pretty sure they're preparing for the Bengals as well, not just the Bucks when we get to closer to training camp. So you have tons of time to prepare without Michael Gallup to beat those teams. A part of me would have been like, yeah, it'd have been nice to have an Arizona type of game later in the year. We really didn't play a ton of great teams at the end of the year last year. I guess we can put the Chiefs, because that was before Thanksgiving, but I'm talking post Thanksgiving. It really wasn't a ton of meaningful good. You played the Giants, the Eagles, and you played the Washington football people twice, and then New Orleans with Taysom Hill. So it was like there wasn't some playoff atmosphere type games. It was Arizona, and we went out there and laid an egg. So I would like to have some. That's why I want Tennessee to be good. That's why I want the Colts to be good. I want those games to mean something. So we're smelling ourselves a little bit towards the end of that year. Then got whooped in Arizona, and I don't think we kept that same feeling. These boys said, yeah, we're going to go out here. We're going to play this. We're going to get some momentum against the practice squad team of the Eagles. And they all hand, high, and 1,000 yards. Broke the record. Here we go. Boys came out here looking like against them 49ers. So I digress, y'all. I'm getting a little riled up thinking about the end of that year because it was frustrating. So, yes, I do want some of those other teams to play well. Yeah, I am. I'm rolling, ain't I? It's Friday. It's Friday, man. I'm rolling. Let me get up out of here, though, man. Good stuff today. I think one of our better rollout TV days that we have had. I thank y'all for that with the fantastic calls, the fantastic mailbag, and the chat was on fire, as it usually is with the Bomb Squad. Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all. I got some things supposed to be happening. I'll probably roll this stuff out on Monday, though. So you won't hear from me after the day. There will be no show with me and Vach on the volume today at 3:06-ish. It'll be Vach. I think he's going to be dropping, and Vach, if he's still here, he can attest to this. I think he's going to drop a film review over there. So I think it was Joey who said, where can I find Vach's show? On the volume. Monday through Thursday is the live show, about 3:06, and then on Friday he usually drops a film session. So y'all go over there, sub up there, and make sure y'all sub up here, man. If you're new here and you did sub and you can't comment, that's because you gotta wait 20 minutes. But if you enjoy how we do this show, how we present the content, And this is a daily thing. We hear every single morning. There's not too many Dallas Cowboys morning shows, but we are one, if not the only. So if you like what you see, man, hit that like button. It's free, it supports, and it helps get this Cowboys content out to the masses. We're only going to continue to grow. I say we. When I say we, I don't mean A to Z. I mean this community, us. We're only going to continue to grow. And I want y'all to come with me and us on this ride, man. I do. So shout out to y'all. Good stuff today. I've been running this back my damn self. But if you missed the show, go ahead and be part of the running back gang. We'll be on Spotify, Google Cast, Apple Play, all that good stuff. Isn't Undisputed a Cowboy show? Touche, my ninja. Touche. With that said, we out of here, man. It's Friday. Go cash y'all checks. Still do that? I remember the times I had to go to the cash checking place. Oh, man. I'm blessed to say that hasn't happened anymore. Take y'all direct deposits. Go do something fun with the friends and family this weekend. Y'all have a good weekend. Love y'all. We out of here. Peace. Shout out to the Bomb Squad.